Okay, so now that we have identified specifically how many cars Santander needs to sell to be able to achieve its objectives, let's move on and do a small parenthesis to understand how the marketing process works. For that, I'm going to walk you through a very simple framework where you will be able to see how marketing creates, delivers, communicates, and eventually captures value. The process consists and begins with analysis. There are three kinds of analysis that one needs to conduct to do a proper marketing plan. The first of it is a market analysis. The objective of the market analysis is to be able to segment the market and to identify homogeneous segments of consumers that we will be able to target. So the end product is segmentation. In addition, we have to be able to analyze the competition. The end product of the analysis of the competition is to be able to differentiate. Why should companies have to differentiate? Well, most consumers and business markets today are plagued by competition, and the competition has become fierce and intensive. Differentiation is the best way to be able to hold market share and defend margins in the eyes of both consumers and channel partners. And finally, and last but not least, the third kind of analysis is an internal company analysis. The company has to be able to understand its strengths and weaknesses and what capabilities it has or it needs to acquire, such as, for example, a channel of distribution, in order to be able to wage a war and have any chance at winning or becoming the best at serving a specific target market. Now, once the differentiation and the segmentation is done and the package of benefits has been selected, in essence, we have already defined the value proposition for that specific target segment. Up until this point, the company has only been able to create value for consumers. Positioning is the process by which that value gets delivered and gets communicated, and it includes the four well-known 4 P's of marketing that have to do with pricing, products, channels of distribution, and eventually a communication strategy. So, from what you have seen so far, what kind of products do you have in mind, and what products do you think the bank should launch in Mexico? Well, there are several possibilities. One possibility, the one that they're considering, is launching a low interest rate card. Another possibility is launching cards with no commissions or fees. And finally, launching cards that strengthen particularly value-added services such as insurance or points or the loyalty program. And I'm sure that you can think of many other possibilities of products or services that you can launch. But all these products and services have advantages and disadvantages. For example, the low interest rate card, the main disadvantages is that customers apparently do not seem to care as much about the interest that they pay on their credit cards. In fact, according to one of the exhibits done by the survey conducted by the bank, it only ranks 4th in order of importance. And besides, what will happen to the profitability of the credit card business for the bank? Next, you could run no commissions. The no commissions or no fees ranks 2nd in order of importance. But what commissions will you remove? The annual fee? The renewal fee? Will you remove commissions for withdrawing cash in other banking networks, etc., right? In addition, you could think of cards that rather stress value-added services, such as the loyalty program or insurance or a differentiated partner network. But you have to keep in mind that Santander Serfin only really has 6% of the market share, and so some of the most important retailers of the country are not likely to be able to join a program of very limited reach, right? So then you are down to potentially partners that are not as relevant for the majority or the mass market of consumers, okay? But we can think of many other cards and many other issues that you will need to think about before deciding on what kind of card to launch. For example, which one of these cards, and this is the most important question, will be able to help achieve the bank its most immediate and medium-term goals, that of achieving 730,000 cars within the next year and a half. For example, Should Santander launch more than one product simultaneously? That is surely bound to confuse consumers, and there is nothing more that delays adoption than confusion. So perhaps we should just go back to thinking about what is the best or the optimal product to launch, at least in the first year, before moving into thinking about multiple product offers. In addition, will the new product conditions need to be extended to its existing customers? You cannot forget that Santander already has close to 600,000 customers. So you must be thinking, I have objectives set in far as number of cards, but whichever product I decide to launch is sure as heck going to affect some of the conditions for the existing customers. Now, if you don't want to end up with a negative PR in your company, it's very likely that either if you offer low interest rates or no fees or no commission cards, most likely there is a good chance that you will have to extend some of those conditions to your existing customer base.